What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the spot. We took our little week off for Thanksgiving and everything, and had a hectic few days leading up to this, but we're finally back.
Yep, back and ready to go and talk about some of the interesting shit that has happened since Survivor Series.
It's been really crazy, really crazy.
Yep, we've had a huge just to do a quick recap before we go into this week's Raw and Smackdown. I think the biggest thing to take away from the week after Survivor Series was one, we had Paige returning along with her two new starlets by her side, and then we also had Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Is that her name? I believe the
Yeah, I think it's Sarah Logan.
yeah, and Sarah Logan debut on SmackDown. So some new women have been added to the main rosters, and then of course we had the big hog Roman Reigns winning his first IC title.
And the
And
crowd went
stop.
mild.
And the crowd went real. I'm okay with it,
Yeah,
which is about.
eh,
I think that's my reaction is I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think he looks like Razor Ramon with it. So I'm like, whatever.
Razor Roman.
You didn't think about that. Yeah. Razor Ramon.
Yeah, dude, that's what we're gonna go with from now on. Razor Roman.
As long as Roman is the IC champ, he is going to be Razor Roman.
I'm down with it,
But
dude. I'm running with it. Let's ride.
yeah, I like it. This is great. This is great. It's only another 2 or 3 weeks until Squared Circle somehow picks it up and decides to steal it from us.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Ben Gay to pop up on there.
Dude, the day that Ben Gay pops up is the day that I will quit.
I
But
will unsub immediately.
gone. Why don't you get us going into our Raw recap?
Alright, so, like, okay, before we get started, any commentary or anything like that that happened during Raw and SmackDown, I have no knowledge of because I went to both Raw and SmackDown. So, any sort of, like, commentary bits that I'm not going to know anything about them. But,
I actually have a couple from Raw because Booker T was once again in fine form, but we'll get
I
into that
figured.
as they come.
But Raw kicks off with a video package with like Kane and Braun Strowman. Don't know. I don't think they had the crowd mics on during that intro package, but like as soon as Kane's face popped up on the fucking on the Tron, everybody lost their shit. There was a huge pop. One of the like only pops for the Raw crowd because that Raw crowd was hot
I was,
garbage.
about- I was about to say that was probably the loudest pop of the night.
Surprisingly, and this is going to be the weirdest thing you've probably ever heard. They do the main event tapings before Raw,
Yeah.
and the loudest pop of the night was when Apollo Crews came out for the main event tapings before Raw started.
What the fuck?
Swear to
What the
God.
fuck?
I swear to
The,
God.
fucking, the fucking Knoxville crowd
Yeah,
is
dude.
just weird.
I was embarrassed. But anyway, that video package plays. Kane's like, oh, I'm the only monster on Raw, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Just like Kane and Braun's little feud they've got going on. Um,
Yeah.
but after that, the package ends. You get the like clean little run through, and then Roman's music hits. Pop for Roman, pro Roman crowd. I'm embarrassed. Um, Roman comes out. He starts talking about how he won the IC title and the Miz
I
is
would I would
gone.
I would just like to point out that you guys gave Roman a "You deserve it" chant.
See,
So
I heard about that. I didn't even hear it, and I was there. I don't know if I just
oh,
like wasn't paying attention or not.
it was just loud enough for the crowd mics to pick it up, and then they got really loud, and I was like, and I even thought then I was like, I don't think that chant picked up. I think they just turned the crowd mic up
Yeah, they
right.
had to have because I didn't. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or if it was just that quiet, but like I never heard it. Um,
Yeah,
because
it
we
definitely.
had a crowd mic in the like in our section a few rows up from where we were sitting, so like every chant that we started picked up just about as good as it's gonna get. Um, Anyway, none of that matters. But yeah, Roman's talking. Miz is gone. I'm gonna be a fighting champion, unlike the Miz. Open challenge. Blah blah blah. Also, my voice is completely gone, so my voice is gonna crack about 1,000 times during this. And I'm too lazy to edit those out, so you're just gonna have to deal with them.
Sam's going through again. It's okay.
Yeah. But then he's talking about he's trash talking the Miz, and then the Miz's music hits. Mild pop, like I said, bad crowd. And because the Mr. Raj, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, Curtis has got the neck brace on, and they're, how dare you talk about the Miz that way, blah blah blah. We have somebody that's gonna accept your challenge, and then the guitar strum Elias comes out. I was real disappointed at first with it. I love Elias, but I was real disappointed at first because I was hoping it would be like Balor or somebody that was going to answer for the first week. But Elias comes out and he's.
No,
Go ahead.
I agree with your a lot. Sorry to interrupt you. I agree with how you feel about Elias. Where even though I like him, and I'd love for Elias to be the one to down the road take the title off from.
Oh yeah.
But for Monday night, we needed something else. Even having Cedric Alexander come out there and be the surprise would have been enough of a difference for it to be interesting. This was just kind of like, meh. What heel do we have available this week?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, you guys are gonna walk with Elias tonight, and blah blah blah. But anyway, that sets up later in the night Elias versus Roman for the Intercontinental title to kick off his Roman's Intercontinental title open challenge. He's trying so hard to beat John Cena, it's not even funny. Elias leaves, and I didn't even know that this part was on TV. I thought it had already cut off the air and gone to commercial. But Roman's walking up the ramp. Seth's music hits. He comes out. Whatever the fuck they did. And then that I didn't know that was even on TV. But I went back and I did watch the first 2 or 3 matches, and I did see that.
It was on TV. I think they did that intentionally just to show that the Shield is still together.
Yeah. Anyway, that sets up the beginning of Seth and Cesaro's match. And I didn't watch last week. Did Dean and I guess Dean and Sheamus had a match last week?
Yes, indeed. So this is where I want to bring in the first Booker quote of the night.
Okay.
Booker brings up the fact that Sheamus and Dean faced off last week, which Dean won. And Cody Graves quips, well, if Seth Rollins beats Cesaro tonight, that should mean that the Shield should get an opportunity at the tag titles. To which Booker goes, that makes no sense, Corey. And Corey just loses his shit laughing and goes, how does that make no sense? You don't make sense. And they get into it. And Booker's like, just because you beat the 2 members of a team one-on-one doesn't mean you should get to face them in tag team action. And Corey is just cracking up and he's like, what the hell does it mean then, Booker? And Booker kind of gets quiet and then he just goes, Corey, don't you ask me to explain myself. Move on.
Oh my god. Booker's such an idiot. This was a really long match. I don't know how long it seemed on TV, but in there it was a long match and it was good.
2 commercial breaks.
Really?
2 commercial breaks during this match. Yep.
It was it was great.
It was a great match. I actually have a little bit of a recap here of the whole match if you want me to go through that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We just get, a normal back and forth at the beginning. Cesaro and Rollins reverse multiple hammer locks out of each other. Architect is getting his ass kicked and gets thrown out as we go into the commercial. Come back from the commercial. Cesaro is in control with an abdominal stretch locked on tight, right in the middle of the ring. Which, okay, off topic but on topic. WWE loves to come back from commercial with people in abdominal stretches.
Yeah, or just rest holds in general.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, the last probably 3 weeks, I have noticed the abdominal stretch being used a lot on people that I'm like, you don't even use that ever. Why are you doing that? But whatever. Um, we come back in, get another back and forth. Rollins is climbing up the turnbuckle when the Swiss Superman jumps back up, hits him with a shoulder block, and puts him up top. Uh, Cesaro is setting up for that nasty gut wrench power bomb, and he's trying to do it off the second rope, and he looked like he was really going to do it for a while. But eventually he knocks Seth blocks it, knocks Cesaro to the mat, crossbody. But Cesaro catches him and turns it into the nastiest backbreaker, which then gets turned into a double leg takedown into another near fall and a bear hug. This match was just all over the place. They're back and forth, and the last sequence saw Cesaro go into the double leg swing into a gorgeous sharpshooter. Seth finally gets to the ropes, gets set up for the neutralizer, only to hit a back body drop. The Avada Kedavra hits, which I think should be Seth's finisher, but whatever.
Agreed.
They come back up. Cesaro starts hitting the European uppercuts. Seth finally counters one with a backslide. Cesaro ducks a lariat, springboards right into a super kick, wrist lock, bam, ripcord knee strike for the win.
Seth had a really clean Falcon Arrow in this match. I don't think it made it on. I don't think it was on TV.
No, it was not. But the replay was as soon as they came back from the second commercial break, they showed the replay of that Falcon Arrow, and that was a gorgeous.
Oh, it was so nice. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And then after the match, you have Charlie Caruso come out for the post-match interview. They've been doing a lot of those lately, and I'm really not a fan of them. They're just really awkward.
I don't like them at all.
Yeah,
I can't stand them. They're gassed out. They're tired. They don't expect them to cut a clean promo right after wrestling a full match.
Yeah, and Seth's promo after this was like especially weird. So she basically asked him like, with Roman winning the IC title and Dean's not here, what does this mean for the future of the Shield? And Seth was just like, well, Dean's on his honeymoon, blah blah blah. And then I think this may be the first time that they actually like acknowledge Dean and Renee like being together on TV.
Well, and they flirt with they always have Renee do a flirty thing with Dean, but not like that she doesn't do with like anybody else. But yeah, I think this is the first time they've ever actually just openly acknowledged it.
Yeah, it was just a weird promo. But then I guess it cuts to commercial. Comes back and there is a backstage segment with Angle and for the cruiserweights, Rich Swann, Arya Daivari, Noam Dar, and Akira Tozawa, and they're basically talking about how like the Zo train is run off the tracks, and which Kurt's just like, what's a Zo train?
Which the greatest white dad response that he could have had.
Yeah, Kurt is the perfect like clueless adult when it comes to things like that. But he basically sets up that starting this week, there's going to be 2 fatal 4-way matches. The 2 winners of those matches will go on to whatever the next Raw pay-per-view is. Or I mean, you can't hear those. Sometimes hearing those backstage segments in the arena is like almost impossible.
He actually didn't say when it would be.
Okay.
All he said was that they would go on to face Enzo as the next challenge.
Okay.
But they did not set up when that might remote.
Okay. Well, he sets up a fatal 4-way match for those 4 tonight and sets up another one for next week. And I'm going to try to recall who all's in the one next week from 205 Live last night that I barely paid attention to, but I think it's oh gosh, Tony Swan, Cedric Alexander. Oh my god, everybody's slipping my mind right now. Huh?
The one that happened this week was Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa, Mustafa Ali. Or no, I'm sorry. The one this week was...
It was Rich Swann, Arya Daivari, Noam Dar, and Akira Tozawa.
Yes.
But the one for next week is...
Tony Nese, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander, Um,
Noam or not Noam Dar. Jesus Christ, this is a train wreck.
Mustafa Ali.
And Drew Gulak. That
Yes,
fuck it, we're moving on. I'm tired. But anyway, he
I
sets up two fatal four-way matches to get the two number one contenders for the cruiserweight title. Move on from that into the six-woman tag that was set up for. Uh,
actually we moved on into the Samoa Joe and Titus O'Neil match.
oh God, okay, I didn't even have that written down. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
which you why would you? Because it starts off with Titus O'Neil punching Samoa Joe into a corner, and then Samoa Joe comes out, proverbially pulls his pants down and beats Titus with his long. It was like 50 seconds long. It was nothing. Just another beat down. Then Apollo Crews came in and tried to uh, save his mentor,
And then he got murdered.
which then resulted in him getting murdered again. And yeah, so yes, then we move into uh, the women's 3-on-3 tag.
Which never actually happened, but it was supposed to be Sasha Bailey and Mickey James versus the what the fuck do they call themselves? Absolution, which is Paige,
Yeah,
Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville.
it's just a shit name, but whatever.
Yeah, but it starts out. Sasha comes out. Mickey's music hits. She never comes out, so they awkwardly just go to Bailey's music, and then she never comes out, so they just awkwardly go to Paige's music, and Absolution comes out, and Paige is like cutting the most like drunken sounding promo I've ever heard out of anyone.
She sounds like a drunken British like man all the time now.
Yeah, it's awful, and I hate when she says that I'm back, and she like sings it. Just stop. Just stop
Yeah,
it. Just go away and come back in a couple months. Figure yourself out, because you're killing me.
you had a chance and you've already fucked it up. Get out again.
Yeah. But they basically say like they attacked. Well, they never came out and say it, but they obviously reference to them attacking Mickey and Bailey. Um, they get up on the ropes or up on the apron. Paige cuts a little bit more of a promo. Gives it to Mandy Rose. She cuts an okay promo. Gives it to Sonya Deville, and she butchers the mic very shamefully.
She
Um,
is just
yeah, it was bad. Um, but Paige is basically like, you either join us or you're against us. And so the female Shield attacks Sasha after Sasha attacks Paige, and she gets destroyed. Um, and they do, I don't know, they just beat her down. It was really boring. I was half asleep. Um,
yeah. It wasn't any better here.
yeah,
It was
it was really fucking bad.
okay. In maybe I am just not paid attention at the right time 2 weeks in a row. But whenever they're Paige and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are beating people up, I see Paige and Mandy Rose hit their finish. Does Sonya Deville do hers? And if so, what is her finish?
If she does hit it, I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna, you know what? Go ahead into the next part of the recap. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
This is
Um,
this is go ahead.
but since my notes have already been flawed, I think this led into the Bray versus Matt match. Um,
Yes.
and it was like a Bray comes out and cuts a promo, and I don't know if it was just like because Dylan and I both caught this while we were listening to the promo, and I don't know if it was just like us being overzealous and thinking like overthinking it, but Bray didn't quite sound like Bray. He just kind of
No.
sounded like a normal person.
Yeah. He did. I mean, he was using the cryptic words, but he lost that Bray Wyatt sound in his voice when he
Yeah,
tries to
like I heard him talk, and I was like, that's not even Bray Wyatt. That's just that's Rotunda. Like that's not even the
yeah.
character. That's just him as a person. But he cuts like another weird promo that makes no sense. He says everybody's dead, and I didn't really get what was happening, but whatever. Matt comes out. They have a mediocre match. Bray hits Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, beats Matt. Bray walks up the ramp, and in the arena, we're like not paying attention to what's in the ring, but we look down, and Matt is like sat down in the corner, like in the turnbuckles, and like sulking. And then, there's a little bit of cheering going on for him, and then all of a sudden, he just starts throwing out the deletes. Just throwing them out, chucking them out. And I did hear about the commentary where Michael Cole, or maybe it was Corey, said, I think Matt's having a breakdown. Is Matt Hardy having a breakdown? And
yeah, he kept saying it, and every time he would say break, he would emphasize break more. He did it like 3 times. Like, is Matt having a breakdown? They talk like that Matt Hardy is having a severe breakdown. So they keep giving it to us.
Yeah. But the entire time that was happening, I'm just like sitting there staring at Damon with like my mouth completely agape, and I'm just like freaking the fuck out because I never thought it was going to happen.
It's happening.
Yeah, basically. Then it leads away from that, and then that comes back into the Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way match, which the crowd was completely dead for.
Dude, the crowd was so quiet that when the commentary like had like a 5-second pause, I literally thought my TV might have been like on mute or something was wrong.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was completely dead. The crowd just wasn't into it at all. They were chanting about firing UT's athletic director and hiring John Gruden as their football coach, and it was, the crowd was dead as fuck. It was a decent match though. I thought it was pretty good. One of the better matches on the card. Rich Swann takes the win with a beautiful move, flying move. I don't know what he calls it.
I think it was the Phoenix Splash.
It was a Phoenix Splash. It was a Phoenix Splash. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Swan hits the Phoenix Splash on if I remember correctly, I think it was on Noam Dar.
Yes. It was. Okay. Yeah, it was on.
But yeah, he hits the Phoenix Splash on Noam Dar. They do another after match promo that I couldn't hear at all because you could probably hear it on TV, but you could not hear it in the arena. They didn't have it mixed at all in the arena, so you couldn't even hear what he was saying.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. It was a pretty terrible promo. It wasn't anything special.
But anyway, assuming, again, it goes to commercial, comes back, and there's a backstage moment with Jason and Kurt about Jason's knee, and for some reason Kurt hasn't talked to his son in a week about if his knee's okay or not, so he's just now getting to ask him a week later. And Jason just continues. Go ahead. So say that again.
Kurt Angle is a terrible father.
Oh, he's awful. Who doesn't talk to their kid for a week, especially when you think they're injured?
Or, like the first 28 years of their life.
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, Jason's like continues the crybaby gimmick that he's starting to develop. You can feel his like heel turn coming.
Oh yeah.
In that sense, he's doing really well with it. But he's doing great at the crybaby thing because it's getting a lot of heat from me because I fucking hate hearing him talk.
I don't know if it's heat or genuine hatred, but yeah, fuck Jason Jordan.
Yeah. But Jason's basically like, I'm not a quitter. A lot of people are saying that I faked my injury, but I'm going to prove that I didn't tonight when I take on Kane. So that leads into Roman versus Elias. And I had gone to get food during the commercial break between the backstage segment and Elias coming out, so I missed like his whole concert, if you want to call it that. But he apparently got to play an entire song because there was no heat in the crowd.
Oh yeah, he yeah, he played like half of it and got just enough of a boo that he could do his, well, no, I got to start over thing.
Right.
But then he literally made it through a whole song. And then, were you out there when Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel joined?
No, I was not out there. I was still getting food.
So Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas come out. Elias says, I've got two special guests who are going to join me after, he gets like no heat after the second song, which the song was like really funny and like bash Knoxville. It was great. But that crowd just blew dick. But he brings out Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, and the lights get super, super dim, and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas pull out harmonicas and start playing harmonicas with him as he strums his guitar.
Okay, I heard the harmonicas, but I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
It was, oh, I don't know if it was just a last second we got to fill time or what it was, but it was so funny. And I mean, they got into it, and I doubt they were actually playing the harmonica, but the way they were keeping up with the recording, it was like, holy shit, they might actually be playing right now. But it was really funny.
um, but yeah, Elias and Roman have a match, and it is fan-fucking-tastic. Elias looked amazing. Like Dylan, he's a big Roman mark, and even he, like, after the match was over, he looked over at me and he was like, dude, I really wanted
Yeah,
Elias to win that match by the time it got towards the middle of it. And I was like, yeah, that was, I mean, it was a great fucking match. Elias looked amazing in that match.
yeah, it was I mean, he hits an amazing power bomb. Almost hit the drift away like three times. Like it really showed that Elias can. I mean, dude, he can go.
Oh yeah, he
You,
can,
you,
he definitely can. There was a really good
you
false finish from Roman where it was like milliseconds before the 3 count. And we thought Elias had won, and
oh,
he
that
like
power bomb.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
barely got his shoulder up in time. Um,
yeah.
After the
It's like
match, Roman's like celebrating and whatnot, walks up the ramp, and then out comes Joe, throws him in a Coina clutch, and whoa, Jesus.
so, dude. I told you this on Monday night when Joe brings people down for the coquina clutch, and he's only started doing it since he quit. What hasn't been allowed to do the muscle buster, so I think he just does it for that extra bit of aggression.
Yeah.
He will step all the way to, which this is a wrestling and a jujitsu kind of thing. Well, he will step all the way to the side of the person and catch their knee with his knee, and then he yanks them down and just twists them. And on TV, it just looks painful.
Oh
When he
yeah.
brought Roman, down, it was. I mean, it genuinely made me go, "Oh, I don't know that he's okay."
Oh yeah. I mean, it even looked pretty rough live. It was insane. It was really aggressive. When security comes out, Finley comes out. Everybody in our section marked out whenever Finley came out to try to get Joe away, but he kept going back. He kept going back, and you could hear. He didn't have a mic on him, obviously, but like in the crowd, we were sitting by the ramp, and you could hear him screaming at Roman, "I'm coming for you! I'm coming for you!" And
Oh, oh,
Joe's just on top of his shit, dude.
dude, Joe. Honest to God, it's not like he's undervalued or anything. People know how great he is, but I think he almost gets forgotten in the sea of AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura's. Joe is probably the one of, if not the most consistent man in the company right now.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Like,
definitely.
I mean, he is just. I was thinking about that on Monday night. I mean, the guy has put in his work outside of the industry. He's made it to the main roster. He might not be a main roster champion right now, but he knows it's going to come eventually. So he's just playing his role, and he's doing amazing at it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Joe takes the IC title off Roman.
No, I wouldn't either. I would imagine that he'll answer the challenge next week, but I don't think he'll take the belt off of him next week. I think they'll hold off on him taking the strap until Probably the Rumble.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, and you can, those two have already worked together before. You can make that a 2 month promo easy. Or
Oh yeah.
I mean, they can do it, no doubt. Yeah, moving on to the next match,
It
which
was
wasn't.
kind of a match, I guess, if you want to call it. The bell rang twice.
And Dana Brooke. Okay, so the commentators, right as this match is about to start, go, "We are interviewing Dana Brooke before this match, and we asked her what's going to be different this week than it was last week, and she said, I've reviewed the tapes. Asuka's a slow starter. I'm coming out of the beginning." And whenever Asuka hit one, I lost it.
Oh man.
I mean, you know, they just were totally fed that to.
Oh yeah.
Hey, say this really quick because it'll be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we were really confused because the bell rang and then Dana went down and the bell rang again, and we were like, "What in the fuck just happened?" But yeah, Asuka wins, and then Absolution comes out again. Paige, it. I don't even want to talk about it. It was just so boring. Absolution's so boring. But they come out like they're gonna attack Asuka, and then Asuka walks away in classic Asuka fashion. She walks away. Definitely fits her character, but yeah, it is really weird.
Yeah.
And then it's announced. Go ahead.
I want them to keep Absolution away from Asuka. I don't like that shit yet. Asuka doesn't need to get her ass kicked by anyone, including 3 people at once.
Yeah, it's really fucking stupid. But after that, they announce Seth and Dean versus Cesaro next week for the Raw tag titles. And if Cesaro loses the belt, Raw's tag division is so weird.
So to go back to Booker again, they announced this match, and Corey Graves goes, "What about that, Book?" And there was no response. Nothing. Booker did not acknowledge him. Nothing. I just like to imagine he was just staring holes in the side of Corey Graves' head. But yeah. So we get Jason Jordan and Kane up next.
Yeah, Jason comes out, cuts his promo. I'm not faking this injury. I want to prove that to you guys tonight. That I'm not faking this. That I'm not a quitter. Blah blah blah. So the match starts, and what happens? Jason's knee is hurt again.
Yep.
Yeah. It's obvious at this point. I'm sure he'll come out next week and say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm just really hurt. I'm not faking it like all you people are saying." But it's obvious at this point. Kane was getting "That's our mayor" chants, mostly by us. I don't know if they picked up on TV or not, but we were going with it.
I realized later on in the night after Raw had ended, I was like, "Dang it! I should have texted them and told them to do Knox County Mayor's chants." That works. I love that.
Yeah, we were chanting "That's our mayor," but I don't know if it actually picked up on TV or not. Yeah. But after all that, and it was really awkward for us because we're sitting by the ramp, so like we can see them setting stuff up there, and I guess it was about 3/4 through the way of that match. There's just fog coming up through the ramp, and I look over at Dylan and I was like, "Well, I guess Finn Balor's coming out." And sure enough, not even 5 minutes later, out comes Finn Balor, and it was just really funny. Balor comes out, him and Kane go at it for a little while. I don't remember how that ended actually.
Kane beat the shit out of him with a chair, and Balor won by DQ.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, it was a weird impromptu match. And then Strowman comes out. Big pop. I think. Um,
Big-ish.
big Knoxville pop. That's what big pop you get out of Knoxville.
Yeah.
But yeah, Strowman comes out. Him and Kane go at it. I'm booing Kane, I'm booing Strowman relentlessly because that's my fucking mayor, and he's beating the shit out of him. Um,
Doing your good duty.
yeah, there was a guy behind us that like kept screaming, "Hey, that's a government official you're beating up on. That's a federal offense. That's a felony. That's a felony." Um, but yeah, Strowman beats down Kane, and then Kane. As soon as Kane jumps over the barricade and goes into the crowd, I was like, "Look at him! That's a great mayor. He's going to his people."
Oh god, I just love that they decided, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna make the Braun Strowman Kane feud the main event just because we're in fucking Knoxville.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that was the end of the show. I think was when Kane went out of the
Yep.
over the barrier into the crowd. No dark match.
No dark match.
No post-show dark match. All the dark matches were the main event tapings before the show kicked off.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, honestly, not. I mean, it was a Raw. But you got a couple of really actually legitimately good matches with Elias and Roman, the Fatal 4-Way cruiserweight match, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Even Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt wasn't a terrible TV match.
no, it was. I mean, it was a match. It was a what you would expect out of a Raw match. Nothing like too big really happened. There was the biggest thing was Matt's like planting the seeds of him breaking. Um,
Which
and
I
then
think is going to be bigger in your mind in 3 weeks after he's officially gone and broken.
yeah. Once it actually happens, I think that'll be seen as a bigger moment than it is like right now. Um,
Yeah,
and then Joe coming out and attacking Roman. Those are like the two main spots of the show. Is there anything else you want to add to Raw before we move into SmackDown?
nope. Let's go into the A show.
All right, yeah, and yeah, they definitely won the brand wars this week because SmackDown was light years ahead of Raw as far as show quality goes. Me and Dylan thoroughly enjoyed ourselves a lot more at SmackDown than we did at Raw. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, SmackDown was a lot better. Was definitely a lot better to watch on TV than Raw was.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, me and good lord, my voice. Dylan and I have our 2.5 hour trek up to Lexington for SmackDown. Rupp Arena is a great arena, great place. Lexington's boring as shit though. I can't get over that.
there's
Um,
fucking nothing in Lexington.
no, it's the most boring town I've ever been to. And then I'm walking around like with a Vols tattoo on my leg, and I'm wearing shorts, so I'm like trying to blend in with everybody without getting called out.
Your big ginger ass is sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and lead into SmackDown. That kicks off with the video package of Shane like trying to fire Kevin and Sammy last week, and then Daniel comes out and stops it. And he's like, no, we'll make a lumberjack match. Goes through all that, and then they play the video package. Shane comes out, big pop. As soon as Shane came out, I looked over at Dylan and I was like, I'm already having a better time than I did at Raw last night.
That's all you need is Shane O'Mac, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm better.
Yeah, I was like, this is so much better. Shane comes out, he's talking, fucking, I was about to fire Kevin and Sammy last week, but Daniel came out and stopped all that, blah, blah, blah. And then he welcomes Daniel out to kind of explain his actions and everything. Daniel comes out, another big pop. Another time I look at Dylan and I was like, I'm having a better time tonight. Um, but yeah, Daniel comes out. He's like, Shane, you've got to check your I forget the
Privilege.
his did he say privilege? I
No,
don't think he said privilege.
he did it, but that's essentially what he told him. He was
Yeah,
basically like, Shane, you're the GM. You're not allowed to get angry. They're
yeah,
wrestlers. That's what happens. They beat people up. You have to quit being a dick now.
yeah. Basically, in which Shane comes around and he's like, okay, well, Kevin beat the shit out of my dad. Sammy cost me my Hell in a Cell match with Kevin, and then Kevin and Sammy both cost SmackDown the Survivor Series match, in which Daniel was just like, eh, but I mean, you're still kind of being a dick. Um,
I mean, that's literally was his response. So he wasn't wrong. Like, yeah, but like, you still kind of been a dick.
yeah. So that's when Daniel's like, okay, well, Kevin's gonna have a match with Randy tonight. Blah blah blah. Daniel's really seems like they might actually clear Daniel for in-ring action because he's like
Dude,
developing more of a personality.
every single week that he comes out, I'm like, is he gonna attack him? Is he gonna hit him? Like, I feel like it is just it's about to happen.
Yeah, it really feels like they're building up to it because he's like every week after week he's just getting more and more aggressive with how he speaks to Shane. But yeah, they set up the Kevin Owens and Randy match, and it's announced that Sammy's banned from ringside. Okay, that
Okay,
makes
that
sense.
works.
That makes sense. And then Shane goes, it's
Thank
also going to
God.
be a no disqualification match. In which I look at Dylan and I was just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
You get to pick one. You don't get to pick both.
Yeah, you
That's
can't.
not how this works.
That just makes no sense. Sammy's banned from ringside, but it's no disqualification. So, what do you think
Pick one.
happened? Um, but yeah, I think after that it goes to commercial, comes back. New Day comes out, big pop. They have a match against Ben Gay. I think the Usos were at commentary for that match. I remember them coming out, and
They were.
I'm assuming they went to commentary.
Which, by the way, the Usos are the greatest guest commentators of all time, ever.
Really,
Every time they're on there, oh, they're so funny. They're like, and especially now that they're not doing the tribal bullshit, they're just being kind of themselves.
yeah.
They are two of the most organically hilarious guys.
And I guess they're like moving further away from their like heel, and they're more just tweeners now because they came out and they were like, I mean, when their entrance wasn't on TV, but when they came out, they were pretty like acting like faces almost,
Yeah,
but in like a
I
tweener kind of way.
yeah, I think they're doing like I think they're getting away from their initial heel turn when they were just vicious and mean, and especially whenever them and the New Day did their whole like respect angle.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that really made me think that they're kind of moving away from it.
No, yeah. Now they're just badasses that are over. I guess that's just their gimmick now. But yeah, it's New Day versus Ben Gay, Benjamin and Gable. We tried to start a Ben Gay chant. Nobody understood. Um, and from what I remember, it was actually a pretty decent match.
Yeah, it was good. It was I really enjoyed it. We had Gable and Woods start off good back and forth. Got to see, of course, Gable's beautiful chain wrestling that he does and his great drop kick. Um, Ended with a up up down down on Shelton Benjamin for the pinfall after some kind of distraction fuckery. But yeah, I guess Ben Gay isn't going to be the next tag champions, and they're clearly establishing that the New Day and the Usos are the only two good teams.
Yeah. Um, Xavier actually got to pick up the pinfall in this match, which I thought was really good because before he used to just be like, if you saw Xavier in the match, it meant he was going to eat the pin.
Yeah,
Um,
no, they've really finally made it seem like all three of the New Day are legitimate parts and contenders.
yeah, yeah, they've done a really good job building all three of those guys to the same level. goes to commercial, comes. Did the Hot Bros entrance make it to TV? I doubt it.
No.
I didn't think
Or
so.
well, they actually, yes, they did. Yeah.
Did it?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while the Hot Bros are making their entrance and the lights go out to set up the Bludgeon Brothers entrance, we were sitting behind the commentary table higher up, and we could see like directly. We were like in clear view of the stage, and as the lights are going out, all of a sudden, you couldn't see it on TV, obviously, but all of a sudden you just see Eric Rowan like run from one side to the other of the stage, and I just like bust out laughing like as loud as I could. He was like, "Oh shit, we're on the same side."
God damn it! That's all.
But I missed their debut last week. They looked really good in this match. They hit that like move. If I remember correctly, it was like a power bomb top deal, maybe.
They're like double crucifix power bomb.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Zach eats the pin off of that. I don't know if that move has a name or not yet. If it does, they should just call it the bludgeon, or I don't know, the hammer, the something, something to do with their gimmick.
Before we get into the post match, I really like the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah,
I really think that they're some. I think they're legit contenders.
yeah. I was against the gimmick, and like I said, I didn't see their debut last week, so this is my first time like actually seeing them, and I was actually into it. It was really good. The vignettes and everything that led up to it, I was like, that's really stupid.
Yeah, but seeing them in person, I'm about it. They're not too goofy in person for me to hate it. For me not to like it, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job selling those characters as like legitimate, like badasses. I was really down with it. And then after the match, go ahead.
Harper, sorry, just real quick. I love Harper's hair. The way he's got his hair cut and pulled back now, it looks so badass.
Yeah, I agree. That is something else I want to touch on real quick. I hate how they took Harper and Rowan's first names away.
Really?
I don't
like it.
I don't like. I mean, I already called them like Harper and Rowan, but like, it just sounds weird when they introduced them like Harper and Rowan, the Bludgeon Brothers. It just sounds better like Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I'm just being picky about it.
Yeah. No, I'm personally a fan of it. I don't know. I like it, but I get why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm just something I'm being picky about. But then after the match, they had who was the interviewer for SmackDown last night? I know who she is, but I don't remember her name.
I don't know.
Interview.
Actually, the recap I'm reading, it just says when an interviewer rolls up.
Okay, so we'll refer to her as interview lady.
Yeah.
Interview lady comes out, is talking to Zach. I couldn't hear what she was saying. It doesn't really matter when it comes down to this. But I think he hit on like, we said we were going to get better, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, Mojo Jojo attacks Zach, and Mojo takes the heel turn, which was I didn't expect that. From the beginning of them planting the seed for the heel turn, fully expected it to be Zach, and it was Mojo.
Yeah.
So that was really weird. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, out of nowhere. I'm indifferent to it. I just want Zack Ryder to get the better of this feud, but I know it won't happen.
No. But yeah, it was really weird. Didn't expect Mojo to take the heel turn on that. I was okay with it. I'm not against it. I'm just glad they finally did the split because it's not helping either one of them by being in a team.
That just keeps losing.
Yeah. Mojo was doing well for himself while Zach was gone, and then once Zach came back, he just they disappeared. Both of them just disappeared from TV.
Yeah, they just really have not done too much, and yeah.
This will be better for both of them in the long run.
Yeah, hopefully we can get legitimate Zack Ryder singles stuff. now, but we'll see.
Yep. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm sure they'll just send Zach back down to Dark Match Doom. Um,
But after that, we actually had a pretty long backstage segment. Just gonna go through that really quick.
yeah.
Uh, we came back from commercial. Mojo was backstage when said interviewer rolls up and asks why he attacked Zach. He said, "It's like Zach said, the landscape has changed, and I hope that means that Mojo's getting fired." But commentary used this to talk about last week's main event. Go back into backstage segment. Bobby Roode is being asked about Baron Corbin. He says that deep down, Baron Corbin knows there's no one out there who's smarter, better, or going to take the U.S. Championship away. So what does Corbin do? He gets scared and holds the title. So, yeah. Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode's happening. Corbin rolls up, says that he thinks if Bobby thinks he's scared, that he's delirious. Bobby says he's not scared. Prove it by putting the title on the line. The Lone Wolf is not in. Singh brothers come out and give Jinder Mahal a big introduction.
Okay, hold on. Before that, during that backstage segment, Bobby was like, "Okay, well, if you're gonna do it, how about we do it tonight?" And Corbin just stands there and looks at him, and then he just goes, "Nope," and walks off.
Like I love Baron Corbin. Some people think he's terrible. I love him. I think he's hilarious. I think
He
he's
just
good at what he.
some of the little things he does on the mic, I just absolutely love.
And once he started just being himself on the mic, it was hilarious.
Yeah, and you can really tell that's what's helped him a lot. Because like I've said, like it's well documented. I'm a huge Baron mark. I've followed him since his first appearance, like his first TV appearance on NXT. He's gotten so much better on the mic from back then, and it's just because he started acting like himself and just being a fucking douche, and it's amazing. But go ahead. I completely forgot this match even happened somehow.
Oh, the best match of the night. AJ Styles versus the Singh brothers. Relatively uninteresting match up until the end, when we have one Singh brother laying on the ground flat, and AJ Styles climbs to the second rope and hits a second rope Styles clash with the other Singh brother onto the other Singh brother. They were both dead.
You ever Styles clash a motherfucker onto another motherfucker?
Because AJ Styles just fucking did. Like that. What those Singh brothers will just take the best bumps. Those guys better have great paychecks.
For real, it's amazing what they do. There's a lot of rumors saying that like they're just done with the WWE and they're going to get rid of them altogether because of what happened after the match. Jinder hits one of them with a Colossus twice, but I don't think he ever even like attacked the other one.
Yeah, I don't know if he just like forgot which one he had already attacked, and so he just went for the other one, the same one again, or what. Yeah, I hope they don't get rid of them. Those guys have really done a lot. They've really tried.
I mean, if it wasn't for them, then Jinder's title reign would have like truly been unbearable.
Like they deserve to. I think they deserve a run with the tag titles. If we're being honest, I think that hear me out. I think I'm crazy. I think that they have enough of a ability to get over with the crowd because of Jinder turning on them that they could have a run with the tag titles. Maybe not long, but I think they could do it.
I will say this: if they get a tag title run before Breezango does, I will never watch WWE again.
Agreed. Breezango and Drew Gulak are the two greatest things to happen to WWE in the last 5 years.
Agreed. I agree. That leads into Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, fucking... I don't even remember who else. I just know my wife is in it, and that's all that matters.
Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan.
There you go. They go up against Charlotte, Naomi, and Natalia. Strange match. Natalia's like getting her ass kicked for the first little bit, and then she's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm kind of done with this," and she just leaves.
Yeah, I don't know. Naomi got murdered at one point,
Yeah,
and
she's
now
dead.
has K-Fob broken like every bone in her body, according to the WWE.com report. They just like gave no fucks on that one. They were like, "What can we do? How are?" Because like that time that they said that Jr. was left off TV because he had anal bleeding. Like it was like they were just like, "What can we? What kind of shit can we say that's gonna make people be like, what the fuck?" They said she broke her like cervix or something. Like you can't have kids. Whatever.
Yeah, that stuff was
then,
ridiculous.
then the Riot Squad won by pinning Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte has already hit the point in her career that she's so over and so good that she can just start letting random people pin her.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and she's fine. She'll be fine. Who cares? She's champ. Doesn't hurt her reputation at all.
Charlotte could lose the next 20 matches and she would still be the best woman on the roster, so it wouldn't
Exactly.
matter.
She's the Miz of the women's division.
Literally.
Um,
After that, we Randy was supposed to get interviewed, and then he blew off the interviewer, which was really funny. Like in the like it was just straight up like heel Randy. Like he didn't even try. He just fuck you, gone.
it was just pure Randy. Like it was Randy. It was just Randy being Randy. That's all there was to it.
Randy being Randy. But then we got what has probably been my favorite Fashion Files yet.
The Sod Fashion Files, and it
Yes,
was incredible.
it
Uh,
was awesome.
so basically, it's like the beginning of the first Saw movie. And it's Breezango and the Ascension are chained up, and then they do the little thing with like the fucking puppet dude or whatever, and they had to find a key to like get themselves out. Well, I think it was Connor finds the key, and they're about to run out of time, and they're like, "Don't worry about us, don't save us, don't save us, just get out." So Breezango gets unchained, and there's still like they still have like 15 seconds left. Could have easily gotten Ascension out, and then they're just like, see ya. And the Simpsons just sitting there like, oh yeah, 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 that's fine, that's fine. We told you guys to save yourselves. Don't worry about it. And then they're like killed by this, by the poisonous gas.
But the best part was that with like 8 seconds left, Tyler Breeze comes back and walks up right in between him and grabs his hat. He's like, sorry. I don't care if the Fashion Files don't have a point. I can watch one every week and never get tired.
Same. They're so good. They're just so funny. And then after that we have KO versus Randy in that no disqualification match. And it was Kendo Stick Mania, just like every other no disqualification match is.
I think that's their new thing now because they're like, we can just give people welts instead of giving them, giving color. We'll just beat the shit with each other. We'll go back to the olden days where we used to whip the shit out of each other. And that'll make up for the fact that we don't give color anymore.
Yeah, and you still got a little bit of color from Kevin's arm because his arm got like destroyed.
Kevin took some shots this match.
I mean, they just looked painful. They were like Randy broke the kendo stick on Kevin at one point.
Yeah,
And it was, oh man, he took a lot of spots on that. Match goes on, and then Kevin goes through the crowd and like up by where the ramp is, and like you'd assume that he's gonna go backstage, and then Sammy will attack Randy back there because he won't technically be at ringside.
yeah.
But no, they just go to the stage, and then Sammy comes out anyway and just kills Randy with a chair. Which ends up not even mattering because Randy still almost wins the match after that.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't get what the point of making a big deal about it was. It didn't. It literally meant nothing. But Sammy clipped Randy's knee with a chair, and it looked just mad. It looked hurt. It hurt.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it because like I was sitting on the opposite side of the arena, so I kind of missed some of the shots.
I mean, I think it's mostly just Randy being a great seller, but yeah, he looked like he got fucking hurt on that.
Right. Match goes on. Randy, like I said, almost wins still. Almost hits like an RKO once or twice. And then Kevin wins by frog splash, which I thought
Which was
was
so
strange.
Kevin Owens for 205 Live.
Confirmed, it's happening.
Kevin Owens is going to 205 Live. Get ready for it, guys.
It was a good match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then after, go ahead.
I just agree. It was a really fun no DQ match. Yeah, definitely definitely a good SmackDown period.
Yeah, it was a really good SmackDown. But yeah, I guess we'll start doing the days that we do the Raw and SmackDown recaps together. Who won the week in the brand wars? And this week it was hands down, no argument. It was SmackDown took this week easily.
Even if it was just main event alone, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens was like, honest to God, could have been a paper. Like if they really wanted it to be a pay-per-view feud, would have been a great blow-off match in a pay-per-view. Like it was a good no DQ match. They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it was great. And then I finally got to find out how they managed to keep a decent amount of people in the arena for 205 Live.
How's that?
All night, every commercial break, Greg Hamilton would get on the mic and say, "Don't forget our main event after 205 Live is Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler."
Of course.
And then, like, right before 205 Live starts, Greg Hamilton again, "Don't forget our main event tonight." Completely zoned out during 205 Live. Don't know. I'm not even going to try to recap it. And then there was
I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Couldn't give you an intelligent opinion on it.
It was 205 Live. It was boring. And then the dark match main event was, like I said, Baron and Dolph versus Roode and Nakamura. And it was how every other dark match ends. The face wins and the heels lose.
Yep.
It was actually a really good match, though.
I've heard that those dark matches, especially the tag ones, when they just have kind of these random teams, tend to be really good.
Yeah, they were really, really good. Except for the finish to that match. And, I mean, obviously I can't prove it. It was a dark match, but Nakamura hit the worst Kinshasa I have ever seen on Ziggler and won. And I mean, when I say worst, I mean it was like the worst thing I've ever seen. He didn't even come close to connecting with it. But of course Ziggler sold it like he got shot in the fucking head, but it just it was not a good Kinshasa at all.
Well, but yeah, still great SmackDown. Pretty average week of WWE. Not a whole lot set up in kind of a lazy season until Royal Rumble rolls around.
Yeah, it was a decent week. In my opinion, Raw fucking sucked and SmackDown was really good. That's just how I view it.
Raw had a couple of good matches that I enjoyed, just match wise, but yeah, wasn't that crazy about it. Definitely enjoyed SmackDown much more.
Yeah, it was a lot better.
Looking on to later in the week, we are planning on doing a NJPW World Tag League recap, probably either coming out Saturday or Sunday, along with kind of an indie roundup. Know we're a little bit behind on some news, catching up on some stuff outside of the Jericho Omega hype. But yeah, got that to look forward to this weekend.
And since we've been gone for about a week now, there is something that we haven't touched on. And I want to say rest in peace to James Ellsworth. You will be missed.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. That is, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is. And he very clearly a very beloved guy backstage. I mean, you've had every person tweet about how great James Ellsworth was.
Yep. Nakamura's posts, Ziggler's posts, everything. It was, I was really sad. I was actually really sad.
Yeah, I was too. The guy busted his ass for a long time, deserved what he got. But hey, I mean, I heard he's charging like $1,500 for booking fees on the indies, and evidently already has a shit ton of people willing to pay that. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can go out there and be one of those guys that just makes a killer on the indies, can make his own schedule. I also have read a lot of stuff that says he wasn't necessarily too upset about it because he missed his kids, missed being home with his family. So hopefully now he can just go home, have a lot more money in the bank, and enjoy time with his family.
Yeah, that's really good for him. He had a really good run considering like his position in the company. He actually did have like a really pretty decent run.
The guy
with what
has
he
a
did.
2-1 record against AJ Styles. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true. 3-1 actually.
Oh yeah, 3-1. Yeah, he's batting over 500 there.
Yeah, and he had a main event feud. He was a part of a main event feud with AJ and Dean. So like he did a lot while he was there. He won the first women's Money in the Bank match. That's fucking something.
The dude has won 2 ladder matches.
Yeah.
He won that ladder match for the contract versus AJ.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But yeah, James is gone. It kind of sucks, like I said, because he really did do a lot, and he was very entertaining. But the golden boy, the meme dream, he's gone.
Yeah. The run has ended. It was a great year and a half. And, I mean, it was just absolutely batshit insane that the guy got to do what he did anyway. So you can't imagine at the end of the day he's too upset. He got to live his dream for a year and a half after being a guy that should have never, that only made it on WWE TV because of how damn ugly he was.
Yeah. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We have more news to talk about, but we'll talk about that later in the week when we do our other show. Thank you guys for being patient while we took a week off to enjoy our Thanksgiving week, spend some time with our families.
Yep.
Enjoy ourselves. But we're back on regular schedule. We're gonna have more shows coming out, more episodes of everything.
Yeah. We're gonna get back to at least once a week. And I really like to try to push out 2 a week to you if we can.
Yep. But we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. That's all I got.
Like the Facebook page, follow us on iTunes, Android, YouTube, everything else. We'll have a Twitter page up soon. I actually made an email address for that the other day. Just haven't gotten around to getting the page going, but we'll have a link for you guys here soon.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. This has been The Spot, episode 3. Bye. Hashtag been gay. Get it going.
Hashtag been gay. And what was our new Roman Reigns one?
Oh God.
Razor Roman.
Yeah, Razor Roman.
Razor Roman. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you guys.